Have you ever looked at an old photograph and felt something deep inside? Not quite sadness, but something close to it. Like your heart is reaching back for something it can never quite hold again?
I know that feeling well. Sometimes a song comes on the radio and suddenly I'm back in a kitchen that no longer exists with people I haven't seen in years. It's a strange and beautiful kind of pain.
It really is. And today, we want to talk about that feeling, why we miss the past, and some of the gentle, honest ways we talk about it in English.
This is a topic that touches all of us, whether it's missing your children when they were small, or a place you used to call home, or simply a quieter time in life. These feelings are real, and they deserve real words.
So today, you'll learn natural English phrases for expressing nostalgia, letting go, and finding peace with the life you've already lived. These are words for real conversations, the kind you have with people you trust.
Before we begin, we'd love to know, is there a time in your life that you find yourself returning to often? Take a moment and sit with that thought.
And if this kind of calm, meaningful English feels right for you, we'd be glad if you subscribed. There's no pressure. We're just here whenever you need us.
All right, let's begin with the word that holds all of this together: nostalgia.
Main teaching section 1. What is nostalgia? The word nostalgia comes from Greek. It means the ache of returning home. And that's exactly what it feels like, doesn't it? An ache, not sharp pain, just a soft, persistent longing.
In everyday English, we use it simply. I feel nostalgic, or that song is so nostalgic. It means you're reminded of something from the past, and it brings a bittersweet feeling, partly warm, partly sad.
Bittersweet is a wonderful word, bitter and sweet at the same time. Like remembering a holiday from 30 years ago. The memory is lovely, but the people you shared it with may no longer be here.
You might also hear people say, I miss how things used to be, or things were different back then. These phrases are common in natural conversation, especially among people who've lived a full life.
Another phrase, I look back on those days with a lot of fondness. Fondness means warm, gentle affection. It's a softer word than love, but it carries a lot of meaning. I look back with fondness.
And sometimes we say, those were simpler times. Not necessarily better, but simpler. There's a difference. Life may have had less, but it also had less noise.
Do you have a phrase like that? Something you say when you're remembering the past? Most people do. It often comes naturally, without even thinking.
One more phrase worth knowing. I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. It means those memories are precious to you. They're not for sale. They belong to you, and they always will.
Main teaching section 2. Why we hold on. Psychologists say we feel nostalgia most strongly during times of change, when life feels uncertain, or when we're going through a transition. And if you're over 50, you've been through many transitions.
Children grow up and leave. Parents pass on. Friendships shift. Neighborhoods change. And sometimes, without meaning to, we find ourselves living more in our memories than in the present moment.
There's a phrase for that, living in the past. It's not always meant harshly. Sometimes people say, I've been living in the past lately, just to acknowledge that they're spending a lot of time in their memories.
In formal English, you might say, I've been dwelling on the past. To dwell means to stay in a place for a long time, mentally or emotionally. I've been dwelling on what happened, or I try not to dwell on things I can't change.
That second sentence is important. Things I can't change. Part of letting go is recognizing what is and isn't within our control anymore. The past is finished. It belongs to us, but we can't return to it.
A softer way to say the same thing. I've made my peace with it. That's a beautiful expression. It means you've accepted something that was once difficult. It wasn't easy, but I've made my peace with it.
Or I've come to terms with it. To come to terms means to reach a place of acceptance. It took me a long time, but I've come to terms with how things turned out.
These aren't phrases you use quickly. They come from lived experience, from years of sitting with something until it finally softens. And that takes courage.
Main teaching section 3, learning to let go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. That's the part people often misunderstand. You can carry your memories tenderly and still move forward. Both things are true at the same time.
In English, we sometimes say, I'm learning to let go. Not I've let go, but I'm learning. It's a process, and that phrase gives people room to be honest.
Here's a small conversation you might recognize.
Do you ever think about the old house?
All the time. I'm not sure I've fully let go of it yet, but I'm getting there.
That's all any of us can do, I suppose.
Notice how gentle that exchange is. No one is rushing anyone. No one is telling the other person how to feel. They're just acknowledging the truth together.
Another natural phrase, it's part of who I am. When we say this about the past, it means we don't want to erase it. We want to integrate it. Those years shaped me. They're part of who I am.
And one of the most healing phrases in English, I'm grateful for what was. Not, I wish things were different. Not, I want it back. Just, I'm grateful for what was. That sentence holds both memory and acceptance in the same breath.
Healing is a word worth sitting with. We use it for physical injuries, but also for emotional ones. I'm still healing. That helped me heal. Time doesn't erase things, but it helps us heal.
Common mistakes. Now let's look at a few common mistakes that English learners sometimes make with these phrases.
The first one, some learners say, I miss the past times. But in natural English, we say, I miss the past, or I miss those times, not both words together. Those times works, the past works, but the past times doesn't feel natural.
The second mistake, confusing remember and miss. These are different feelings. I remember my grandmother means she's in your mind. I miss my grandmother means you feel her absence. They can go together, but they're not the same.
A learner might say, I miss living in the past, but that changes the meaning entirely. It sounds like you want to literally travel back in time. What you probably mean is, I miss the way life used to be. That's the natural version.
One more, I made peace with it versus I've made my peace with it. The second version, with my, is more idiomatic and sounds more natural to American ears. It's a small difference, but it matters in conversation.
And remember, these phrases carry weight. Use them when you truly mean them. That's when they're most powerful.
Interactive practice. Let's take a quiet moment and think about two sentences. Consider which one sounds more natural to you.
First pair, I'm dwelling on old memories lately. Or, I'm thinking too much in old memories lately. Take a moment. Which one feels right?
The first one, I'm dwelling on old memories, is the natural choice. Dwelling already carries the meaning of too much thinking. It does the work gently.
Second pair, I've come to terms with how things turned out. Or, I've accepted how things turned out. Both are correct, but which one carries more emotional weight?
Most people would say the first. Come to terms suggested journey. It suggests it wasn't easy. I've accepted is simpler, and sometimes that's right too, but come to terms tells a longer story.
There's no wrong answer here. The most important thing is that the words you choose feel true to your experience.
Conclusion. We hope today's conversation gave you something. Not just new English phrases, but maybe a moment to breathe and reflect.
The past is precious. It deserves to be spoken about carefully, honestly, and with warmth. And now you have the words to do that, in English.
To summarize, we talked about nostalgia and bittersweet feelings. We looked at phrases like, I've made my peace with it, I'm learning to let go, and I'm grateful for what was. These are real phrases for real moments.
If this episode stayed with you, we'd be glad if you shared it with someone who might feel the same. And if you'd like more conversations like this one, subscribing would mean a lot to us.
We'll leave you with one gentle question to carry through your day. What is one memory you're truly grateful for?
Hold it gently. See you next time.